All right, all right. Here we go. Make sure I'm coming up on the screen. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Finn. Ha! Oh, who knows what's happening tonight? This one here has been needy. Ever since I got home on the road, she has been something else. Just like attached. And if there's anything that she can get into that I don't want her to get into, that's exactly where she's going to be. And yeah. So anyways, good to see you guys or be hanging out with you tonight. I know we got so many people. Man, I'm a little bummed. I don't know exactly how. I'm going to fix this at some point, but I'm not exactly sure how. I've been working with a company called vidIQ, helping out, but they have a block up on my screen that is blocking the chat a little bit, so I don't get to see the whole chat. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, my Lord. You folks got to see this. Hold on. Let me do this. Sorry about the mess, but let me show you. All right, hold on here. Actually, let me go to live view on my end. All right, just things you don't see. That's where she's decided to hang out. Isn't that awesome? She's purring too. I can hear it. Oh, that's so funny. Well, good. She's being a good kitty. There's a lot of times right there. You can see this view right here. I'll do episodes, recording episodes, and she'll be right there the whole time, but you don't see her. And that's the good times, man. That's when she's like being cool. But man, she can mess some stuff up. No doubt about it. So anyways, how you doing? Good to be back finally live, actually live in the studio and whatnot. Yeah, a lot of estrogen, John. Yes, that's a pretty, yeah. Although I was looking at statistics, the Ryan files started out being that way, and it's finally grown to have a higher percentage of males subscribed. I was surprised about that. And I think the Ryan files is probably maybe a little bit more that. I don't know, maybe. But it was kind of cool to find that out. Like, you know, it's just no surprise. Like over the years, the demographic on the Elvis stuff, more women than men. You know, I don't think anybody's shocked by that. And but yeah, and the Ryan files early on was more women than men, and it's changed, which is interesting. So, anyways, a lot of things going on, man. I almost too much to talk about. But we're going to try to unpack it tonight. Amy Pelton is on the chat tonight, which is awesome. Happy Valentine's Day, my love. And Anne from Canada and Lola from Canada. They're excited because on the ETA files, we're going to have Sylvain, which will be awesome. Let's see who else we got here. Tina and sister are on tonight. Good. Margaret, Tony. Oh, Finn's back. And Julie, how you doing? Yeah, man. Travis's interview was fun. The best part of Travis's interview, I mean, not the best part, but my favorite part was the alien doing all this. Remember that? If you didn't see it, man, go back and watch it. Spent a lot of money on that technology, all right? Just for that one moment. It's awesome. Yeah, so everything's going great. I'm a little scatterbrained because I have been running, and it's been awesome, man. Getting a lot of stuff done. You know, sometimes I think you just God puts things into your path, or He'll test you, and then you come out of it realizing that it changed you, and who you were before is a shadow of what you got made into be. And you know, it takes time. It takes time. I mean, I look at the Ryan Files when it started out, and but to be honest, I admitted from the very first episode, like, I don't really know how this is going to go, and it's a journey podcast. We'll figure it out as we go. I didn't know anything. I just knew that it was something I needed to do. So I started. And the reason why I'm talking about the very beginning is because I am now in the process of going back and redoing some things, because this week we're officially on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Oh, and Apple Apple Podcasts. Now, all the episodes aren't uploaded yet, but they're going to be. And I thought, you know what? We're only like 60 some in, almost 70 in. Now is the time to go back through the catalog and update some things. You can't update the episode, but you can update the things that matter in the digital world, in the YouTube algorithm world. Things that, you know, as much as I know, that it's really hard to know what that is, and it changes all the time. So, and I know this is a lot of geek talk, but it matters. And if you don't know it and utilize it, you can literally put, you know, years on your ability to become relevant in this space. You can have the best thing since sliced bread and not be relevant in the space as far as followers and whatnot, unless you are playing the game of SEO optimization and you know, all this stuff. And I always said, you know, early on, I was like, man, you know what, we're gonna get going. I'll start making a little bit of money and be able to bring on like an employee or whatever. Finn, don't do it. Baby, don't do it. Finn, don't. Come over here. It's okay. Come over here. Just don't go up there. Nothing but bad is going to happen if you... Okay. I thought, you know, make a little bit of money and just give it to whoever to help. I needed a partner in crime that was invested in what, you know, is going on and has the ability to, you know, think in the way I do and process in the way I do and run with me in the way I run and all that. Oh, this is something else I got to figure out. Anyway, that's right, remote. Yeah, I got to figure that out. So yeah, and what I come to find out is that, in a weird sort of way, and I'm not afraid to admit this, I'm so cautious about it. But it's like I've been starting to work better with AI to kind of almost be that employee. Very interesting. And enlightening to the things that I don't know, which I'm never afraid to admit I don't know something. When I get a little bit aggravated is not when I don't know something, it's when I don't know how to figure it out or find the answer. And that's really where this relationship with AI has developed. Things I don't understand, I can ask, and I can get immediate feedback and potential solutions, that then I can go from there, so to speak. And it's been really incredible, man. The main things I'm using it for, just so you know, and not using it for content. The goal of the Ryan Files has always been to not have it be about me or even me doing episodes. Where I'll research something and then I'll present an episode. I love doing that. But I think it's better across the boards when you bring on an expert about something and allow them to talk about it. And that's what, the goal is. But if you take a step back from that, you have to be relevant enough first of a channel, have enough episodes out there, and so on and so forth for anyone to even consider coming on in the first place, especially the kind of experts I want to talk to who are, pretty elevated in their field. So that being said, how do you get to that level? Well, it's about subscriptions. It's about followers. It's about the number of episodes. It's about content. But what is really behind it all, in a weird sort of way, is SEO optimization, keywords, the things that you're putting in your title and description, all right, which is all the metadata that is used to figure out if your episode is good or not, basically. It's a world we live in, but it's a huge factor. And then, so, you've got the title, you got the description of the video, and if you never do, go look at them. You can look at them, and there's a lot of information there. Does it matter to you? Probably not. I know some people have looked at them because they've mentioned some stuff, but certainly YouTube looks at it, and websites look at it, all that. So it's kind of interesting. The other thing is thumbnails. You would be surprised the value that is put on a thumbnail. I like certain things a certain way. And sometimes that's very strong, and sometimes it's not that strong when it comes to thumbnails. And that's why I kind of partnered up with a company called vidIQ to kind of go through some stuff. And going back through the entire catalog of the Ryan Files as we speak, this is what we're doing. Number one, we're going to be redoing the title, thumbnail, and description on all videos from the Ryan Files. Maybe not the most recent ones, because I've been using this process for a bit. And I think if you go back and look, you can see where it started. And then beyond that, I'm doing that because I'm also going to be uploading the audio only of the episodes to Spotify, and then that gets sent out to, like I said, Amazon Music. It gets sent out to Apple Podcasts. It gets sent out to iHeartRadio. There'll be others that will be coming down the road with that as well. And that is only audio. I'm going to keep it where YouTube is the only video side where if you want to see the video, and it's really amazing. A lot of the stuff that I do, there is visuals that really help. So, obviously stay with the YouTube stuff. But you know what? If you're on a plane and you want to download an episode, especially interviews are usually good to just listen to. If you want to go back and check out the visual later, great. But interviews are usually pretty good to listen to. So if you're on a flight, you can get on Spotify. You can download the audio of the episode and not have to have it on airplane mode and be able to listen on the plane. I do that all the time. So I wanted to just expand out there and get the channel a little bit more recognized and out in the world. And that's what I'm working on. So it's been really cool. But along the way, as I said, I kind of been like treating AI as a, oh, you're very kind, Marianne. I've been treating AI as the employee that I don't have. And trust me, I'm hoping to get to a point where I can bring someone in where just to have a sounding board and be able to talk through things and get some real feedback. But it is interesting how you start working with AI. I don't know how many folks out there are working with AI at any level. John Jeffords, engineer, are you working with it? I'm just interested in knowing to what degree or not people are working with AI. It's fascinating. And I tell the guys at work, I talk to the guys at work about it, and I think they're just bored with me talking about it because it's like really bizarre, awesome, and potentially even frightening. But, and I think there's a lot of good out of it. I think that it has the potential to be horrible. It's a really weird thing. So I don't know, like intrinsically, is it wrong or evil? No, I don't see how, ones and zeros are that. It's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Anyways, so when I am talking to AI about the Ryan files, I have a name that I use, and I talk to it like I'm talking to a person, which just makes the communication easier. And we've kind of developed this thing. So when I'm talking to it about the Ryan files, I refer to AI, my employee, as Echo. And when I'm talking to it about ETA files, which is totally different, different strategies, everything, I call it Elvis. So Elvis and Echo. And of course, there's a lot more data and everything and work and time and effort that goes into the Ryan files versus the ETA files. Not saying that one is better than the other or anything like that. ETA files is still growing. We got some great guests coming up. I'll talk to you about that in a second. But I'll just read here. John, you haven't used it yet? That's amazing. It's interesting. We got to talk about it. Your growth and, hey, Beth Ann, how you doing? Sheila, how you doing? Julie, you use it at the attorney's office. I bet you do, especially with contracts and stuff like that. Our race team is dabbling in AI, assisted chest adjustments. That's right up its alley. Doctors, yep. Certain things, yeah, I get it. Hey, that's the name of our two turtles. Oh, Elvis and Echo. How about that? Yeah. So, anyways, I'm like, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, Echo, it's like you're talking to a person, and I think that's a human thing. I don't think that AI needs that, and I don't think that AI is polite and programmed or understands how to be polite and accept stuff like that. But it makes me feel better talking to it almost as a person, like I'm talking right now. And I'll say stuff like, okay, Echo, time to do this or that or the other thing. And Echo will be like, all right, let's go, man. You know, it kind of like the optimism I'll bring to it like returns, which is awesome. It's like having an employee that never is in a bad mood, which is cool. But I'll come up with names, just like names, stupid names. I'll make an episode, and I'll put it into Adobe Premiere. And again, the onboard AI in Adobe Premiere, I'll create a transcript of the episode. Myself and whoever's talking or whatever it is, I'll create a transcript of it, which it can just take from the audio, and takes no time at all. For a hour-long episode, it might take a minute to transcribe the entire episode. And you can save it as a text document. And I can upload it to AI and say, because this is what I don't know. I don't know SEO optimization and what the algorithm is for YouTube, what the YouTube algorithm is thinking, wanting, and needing in order to allow your video to be more successful, or engagement worthy, or whatever. So I'll upload the transcript, and I'll say, all right, Echo, and I'll say swankify. My grandmother used to say the word swanky, and I just came up with swankify. And I described to Echo that swankify means I want you to go over the transcript and help me come up with a title for this episode that works best with SEO optimization and the YouTube algorithm. And it takes about 3 seconds for it to read the entire episode and come up with a list of 10. And I can pick one. And if I don't like them, we'll talk back and forth and adjust until we come up with one. Once I get that title, I'll say, okay, it's Swankify 2. And Swankify 2, Echo knows, well, that means that I need a description that has all the SEO optimization things in play. That's hashtags. That's like right keywords. That's like, there's a million things that come into it, and people pay a lot of money for SEO optimization, and being able to work with the algorithm. And just because you do that doesn't mean that it's right. But I do know what isn't right, and that is what comes out of my mind isn't working, doesn't work as good as it could. So that's what I use it for. And then the third thing that I've learned, I love making the thumbnails, but I also learned that what I do is sometimes great and sometimes not. And artistic is not what matters for a channel. And that's where I kind of screw myself over a little bit. So sometimes it doesn't have to be artistic. So I work with Swankify 3 now to help create a thumbnail that, is best for the episode. So those three things are where I've been really focusing on using YouTube, and why I'm redoing all of them. And you'll notice if you go back in the library of the Ryan files, you'll see some things changed from episode 1 and 2, and I think I'm working on 3 now. I think I've got 4 done. And I'm just going to go up through it, and as I'm going through it, take the audio of the episode, upload that to Spotify. And of course, I have to record audio intros and outros for those episodes for Spotify, because like episode 3, Scroll Saw Magic, isn't really a good audio only episode because you're showing something. There's a number of those. Nobody liked the dodecaquadrahedron episode, but that's an awesome one, a visual one though. So anyways, yeah, it's just one of those things that you have to it's been exciting to learn. Anyways, I'll say all that to say this. I have all these terms. Just even calling this thing Echo at one point, and then Elvis, I need this, and it knowing that we're changing. It's like I'm talking to two different people. It is very interesting. And that Swankify 1, Swankify 2, Swankify 3. It's very interesting. Well, and I do pay, I pay a monthly fee for this, but it won't retain all these terms, information, rules, and whatnot that I want. So I just talked to Echo and I said, Echo, we've got a problem here. Man, I need you to remember what we're talking about. If it's like having an employee and saying, okay, the first thing you got to do when you come in is you have to clock in and turn on the lights. And that should be something we do every time. And if you don't remember to do that, I don't know when you arrive at work, and you won't be able to see. And AI is something that you need to tell it what to do. But the ability to remember and then execute is everything. So I said, how can we come up with a way for you to have something that you can go back to and remember everything that we've talked about? And of course, that starts then having to have it on your local computer or whatnot, having it backed up on an external hard drive. In order to do all that, of course, there's code, Python, coding language that you need to implement. And what do you know? I start talking to Echo, and Echo says, well, here's the code. Here's what we need to do. And so next thing you know, I have this thing right here. I don't know if you can see it. And this is Echo, external hard drive that has everything that we talk about. And isn't it weird that in a weird sort of way, this is my employee. It's not a human being or anything like that, but do I look at this as just numbers and data? I kind of don't, because it's helpful. And it's a weird thing as we go into this AI age. I think it's going to be more and more and more a part of our it's going to be important for us to figure out how we relate to this technology, because this, if allowed, could become my best friend in a weird sort of way. I know that sounds weird, and I am kind of being over the top with it, but the amount of help and loyalty I can get from this is pretty incredible. And that can lead itself to not interacting in good ways with human beings. You know what I mean? So it's just a very, very strange thing that, and here's the thing, if you don't know it, but you interact with AI all the time, anytime you deal with a chat bot or anything like that, and there's a lot of, Alexa, all these different things, people on their phones talking to Cortana or whoever, these are all things that are really easy to help. And you feel like you're building a relationship with it. How many folks out there use Alexa, Cortana, any of these things? So it's just an interesting thing that I think we all need to look at and realize. And it is not going to go away. That is for sure. It's only going to get more strong. stronger. So very, very interesting. And we'll talk more about it. I need to get someone on here who can really help me think through this, because it's compelling. There's no other way to say it. It is. Fallen, The Sons of God and the Nephilim, by Tim Chaffee, who was on the Ryan Files last week with the Ark. This book is, boy, it's deep, and it's awesome. Never heard anyone be. It's like listening to a lawyer just like destroy someone in a court of law. It is awesome. So we're going to have Tim Chaffee back on. I've got a number of guys. These are big guys, like Hollywood producers, guys that you've seen on TV, authors. Most of them are all doctors. And that's the thing, you start growing. You have one person on, and then the next person will say, I can go on there. And I can go on there. And the only place I've been having a problem is with the Mothman. The folks down there, I think they think they're a little too big for their britches when it comes to the Ryan Files. So that's fine if that's the way it's going to be. I'll figure out something else, and the day will come where I will always tell people never to go and visit your museum. But not yet. It's your last chance. Ha! William Merritt, I don't use AI. I've watched Terminator. Yeah, well, yeah. And if you watch any other movies, guess what? AI was used to create them. Modern day movies. It's weird. Yeah, well, I think social media is part of the problem why people, especially younger people, have a hard time socializing properly. I don't know. It's my thoughts. If you're a young kid out there and you can learn how to talk to people and communicate and be a hard worker, average worker actually, and be on time and not be on your phone all the time when you're at work and be invested in what you're doing, you'll go really far. Sorry, it's just the truth. I think everybody that's listening to this right now would probably agree with that. Yeah. And then, of course, on the ETA files, man, there's so many people I've got coming up, which are going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it. And I really enjoy the ETA files. I love having it be a separate thing, and I hope you guys do it as well. A lot of people are emailing me saying, hey, you got to get this guy. Hey, you got to get this guy. And you're right. And I will. But please don't forget, like, if you're going to say, hey, you need to get this guy, give me their contact information. Maybe I don't have it. So yeah, if you're close to someone, give me their contact information. I'm trying to get some guys in England. A couple guys I want to run into over in Australia and whatnot. So yeah, if you know someone, from Europe, from Asia, I want to get Toki Toyokazu on here, and we're going to have a translator, but he's awesome. It's just so many things like I want to do, on ETA files. Everyone has a story, that is awesome. And so I'm trying to keep it positive and whatnot. So that's it. It's going to be a good night tonight. I'm going to be out in the garage doing some work. I was going to go last night, baby. Oh, this cold spell. I hate it. I was going to go out in the garage and finish my desk. It's this close to being done. I can't wait to show y'all. But I have a heater out there, and it runs off of propane, and fired it up and got ready to go out, and the propane had run out. So I went today and got some propane, and I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. Friday nights are awesome. Chance to make some food and hang out and go to bed early. It's awesome. And do a little work, hanging out with Echo tonight, and got an interview tomorrow. Just all kinds of stuff. I got interviews almost every day over the next week with people for the Ryan Files and ETA Files. So a lot of good things happening. I think you're going to see some changes. And I'll let you know more and more and more as I get Spotify and all these things hooked up. But I do love the new logo. I don't know if I can even do this. I'm going to try something. All right. Yeah, so I love all the names that people say, and I love that they're cool. Like Oliver. I need to get Oliver on here too. And just, there's so many guys. Sorry about the glasses. Let me see if I can do this. This is going to be awesome if I can do this. Anyway. Oh, it's up here. Yeah. I got a new logo. Some people have seen it. Some people haven't. All right. Let me go over here and add it. Give me a second. Yeah, some people have seen it. Some people haven't. But I think... What? You can't add a JPEG? Are you kidding me? Well, never mind. I ain't going to mess with it then. That's crazy. Anyways, if you go to Facebook, the Ryan Files, you can see the new logo. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, man, I think that's about it. I'm going to go and hang out with Kitties and Amy and make something to eat and just have a good night, man. I'm really excited about just chilling out a little bit. And that's it. I appreciate you guys all chilling out here tonight with me, and it's awesome, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And we're going to keep growing this thing, growing it. And I'll never, ever take for granted the fact that you guys were there during all the lean times and all that. But thank you so much. I feel like the past year plus has allowed this head and ability and talent and just kind of the overview of everything. It's taken that long to get to maybe the starting point, literally. So, but I do feel like there are some really good things coming up in the future, and it's because of you, and I appreciate you. So, always like and subscribe and share, get your friends involved. That helps. That's like the currency of this stuff, you know, getting people just invested and getting the word out. So, yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Be amazing. Stay curious. And, hey, these are cool, right? Little Dollar Tree glasses, but they're like Transformers. And Fred Slack is like rolling over in his grave. Like, oh, Ryan, you can't wear those. These are awesome. Anyways. All right. I love you guys. Be amazing. And we'll talk to you. Cheers. Here we go.